I'd like to invite our next local speaker, who's very renowned for his religious work and also his activism on Palestine, that has spoken very, very heavily, and he has a channel that you can actually go on, and he speaks about many topics. Brothers and sisters, please give it up for the respected Shaykh Asrar Rashid, Birmingham born and bred.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I wanted to say that if Palestinians did not have weapons, their statement today would be what happened to the Bosnians, that they would be slaughtered. This is why we as Muslims, we take up armed struggle, and we are not ashamed of it. We have jihad in our Qur'an, and jihad is standing up against oppression. And what the Palestinian people are doing today is armed struggle, is to stand up against the bankers' state, which is known as Israel. Today when people vote, they think they are voting for foreign policy, but let me tell you something, Keir Starmer's foreign policy is written out for him by those who finance him and by the bankers and the corporations. Do not think elections will ever affect foreign policy. He may have his budgets, he has his budgets and the Conservatives and the Labour Party, they only differ on how they will spend the budget, but their foreign policy is written out by think tanks. Those think tanks are controlled by corporations. Those corporations are controlled by the chairmen of those corporations. Those chairmen of those corporations will be linked to Mr. Donald Trump and Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, who are war criminals. And when all of this interlocking system, whether it's the UAE, which is the Arab capitalist state of the world today, which is complicit in the genocide, whether it's any of the other Arab states which are complicit in the genocide, they are all a part of the interlocking capitalist system which is writing out the policy which me and you think that when we vote for any party today, that party, whether it's the Labour Party or the Conservative Party, have an independent foreign policy. Foreign policy does not change. It didn't change from Mr. Anthony Blair, who changed his name to Tony to seem more common. It didn't change from the time of Tony Blair when 1 million people marched, and it has not changed today. This is why the Palestinians are justified in their armed resistance, in taking up their weapons. They have every right to make weapons. They have every right to utilize those weapons. The Palestinian people today are fighting the bankers' state, the capitalist state, which is defended by corporate capitalism, because it is the capitalist last colonial settler state which has been made, like Australia, like New Zealand, like Canada, like the United States of America. It's one of those states which has been set up, but there is a difference between the Palestinian and the Aborigine. The Aborigines were a great people. The Native Americans were a great people. But the Palestinians are a great people. But there is the concept of jihad, which they have attempted to malign from 9/11, when Al-Qaeda, which was formulated by the West in the first place to malign the concept of jihad in order to undermine real jihad. You have terrorist organizations made by the deep state to malign real jihad when real jihad is carried out. When real jihad is carried out, people will malign the real jihad because they will equate those real jihad groups with terrorist groups. And this is today why when we walk through the Birmingham city centre, you'll notice the difference between Stratford Road, where we live, and the people that were in the belly of the beast, in the imperial cities of the belly of the beast. You will notice them wearing their trades, clothing, and all of this capitalism, but you will notice the indifference on the faces. There is an indifference on the faces of people because they are so engrossed in wearing Calvin Klein as a billboard. Which idiot wears the names of a man who's earning millions, and you wear his name as a billboard? This is the level of people's intellects today. Additionally, you have the media. So we are standing in front of the British bullshit corporation And as we stand outside, we know that people are paying the TV license. Which democracy has people paying to watch television? You tell me, is that the sign of oligarchy coming in the form of democracy, or is it where you have taxation to pay television? They said to me that Taliban are bad. They are Taliban because they ban the television. But you tell me, what's the difference between the Taliban banning television and the British government charging people to watch television? There's a tax to pay television. Go and tell people across the world that in our country we have to pay money to watch television. So this media blockout that we have, we know about it. When this Birmingham City Council, it went bust, and Keir Starmer and his government, they have money to spend abroad for war. They have money to send RAF jets across to defend the Zionist entity, yet they do not have money for the homeless in Birmingham and London. They do not have money to clean up our streets. And there are people who work in the council who do not even realize these basic facts. We are taxed so much today in this country that our tax is utilized for war. We have the black budget, which is given to the MI5 and the MI6. I'm sure some of them are present. Welcome to them as well. And the black budget is then utilized on those RAF jets, and they have no shame in arresting Sue, who is an 83-year-old woman who was arrested for being a part of Palestine Action. Have some shame on yourself before you arrest Sue, an 83-year-old woman. Go and arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. Go to the Israeli embassy and arrest all the staff in the Israeli embassy, people who have no shame. Instead of arresting old women and old men, go and arrest the people in the Israeli embassy. But you will not, because they control your capital, they control your finance, they write down your policies for you. These think tanks that write down all your policies are those think tanks which you work for, and that is the reality that we are facing. And I will say that we must continue what we are doing, keep doing what we are doing, raise awareness. Do not underestimate protests. Do not underestimate every action you do, because if it were not having an effect, then the Palestinian resistance would not call upon the people of the world to continue protesting, to continue taking action. And remember, we call out also to King Charles. I know King Charles, we live in a constitutional monarchy. Your moves are limited. I know that you are controlled by capitalism, but King Charles, take the moral step. We know every Charles faced government. Charles I was beheaded. Charles III at least make some statement. Royal family at least make some statement and show that you are not controlled by the capitalist economy. Allah gives freedom to Palestine. Ameen. And to all the activists. Ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.